guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hetty. I'm a life and mindset coach. I'm also a personal trainer and online fitness coach. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since my last upload. I've been going through a lot of things over the past year and a half. So I wanna first kind of reintroduce myself and kind of what this channel is about. Obviously there may be some new people. If this is the first time watching me, welcome. I make videos all about spirituality, life, mindset, vlogs, food, fitness, all of those kind of things, and I really want this channel to be like a safe place for people to kind of come to as like a comfort, and also to help progress and personally develop into their best version of themselves. And I think obviously the past few years it's been tough on everybody, but I think just life generally, and especially myself, I'm quite a spiritual person. I think there's a lot of things that we have to go through to become the person that ultimately we want to be. So without going off on any more tangents, I just kind of wanted to reintroduce myself. And I think going back into this, I've missed YouTube a hell of a lot. I have been wanting to pick up my camera a lot of times. I've been on some amazing trips as well for the past this past year. I've been really fortunate to travel to some amazing places, and I've been wanting to pick back up my camera, but to be honest, I kind of got out of the flow. And like I said, I've been going through a lot of things the past year, and I feel like I kind of said to myself that I need to start documenting these things. I need to talk about these things, because if it can help anyone feel less alone, or it can help inspire anybody that might be going through some difficult times, or just generally you want to improve yourself, you want to create a life that you're absolutely proud of and absolutely love and excited about. So I want to continue making these videos, these sit down videos. I also want to do a lot more vlogs and travel vlogs, foodie videos, all of those kind of things. So if you're up for that, keep watching. If not, then that's absolutely fine too. I've also got Tinkerbell with me, so if you want to see more of her, stay tuned. If you're liking this so far, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you'll get notified whenever I upload next. But yeah, settle down. This is going to be a sit down chat. Obviously the title of this video, I'm going to be talking all about purpose and what purpose is and how to find your purpose. So get a cup of tea on, get a cup of coffee if that's your jam, or whatever you fancy. The title of this video is obviously all about purpose and what is purpose and how to find our purpose in life. And I got this inspiration from my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll leave it here below and also in the description box, so feel free to follow me on there. And this particular topic hit me in the moment, and a few of you guys on Instagram told me that you wanted me to make a separate video on this, so I thought, why not? Because I feel like purpose, we hear the word thrown around quite a lot, and I feel ultimately a lot of us are on this kind of journey to kind of find that meaning in life, or feeling fulfilled and feeling purposeful. So I want to chat about that and how you can find your purpose in life. First of all, what is purpose? What does purpose even mean? To go into this first, I want to talk and clarify about life as a whole, and this comes from Tony Robbins originally, but life as a whole, we as humans have certain needs that we have to be fulfilled in order to survive and to thrive. So one of the first foundations are obviously food, water, shelter, sleep, connection, relationships, all of those kind of things. So those are kind of like, think of those as like our fundamental core needs as human beings. We need food. Obviously, if we didn't have food, we would die eventually. Shelter, and then it kind of comes up into love and connection. So obviously that is a big need that a lot of us need in order to feel our best, in order to live a fulfilling and happy life. And obviously through lockdown a few years ago, we obviously experienced an a need for that even more so, because we were having to put up without it for a long time. You know, a lot of people had to live on their own and they weren't able to see their loved ones. But coming up from these foundations, sorry, I don't know why the exposure on this camera keeps blowing up, but I keep turning orange. So once those are fulfilled, we then kind of tap into the other parts of certain needs that humans require in order to live their best, happy and fulfilled life. And one of those things, once we have all of these needs met, we can't first desire purpose if we're not getting the basics needs met. So food and water, for example, we can't possibly be looking for our purpose in life if we're not even getting food and water and shelter and security and those kind of things. So presuming that all of these other needs are met, we then kind of have this open space of fulfillment, purpose, meaning in our life. So we could go, for instance, we could be living in quite a comfortable setting, you know, where we live in a nice home, we have food, we have water, maybe we have a nice family, connections and relationships around us. However, we have no meaning in life, meaning that we almost feel like this void, we feel empty inside, that the work that we do, maybe in our work day to day, in our full-time job, the way that we obtain money to pay for, you know, the things that we have, perhaps that's not actually fulfilling us. Perhaps we're only doing that for the money, for example. Perhaps, you know, we've been doing it for so long that it's just become a routine for us, and that we just do it just because it's part of our life now. But what that meaning and that void inside us starts to feel like is that it's almost, from personal experience, whenever I've felt unpurposeful or unmeaningful in my life or unfulfilled, it's almost like you're kind of walking around with grey tinted glasses on. It's like everything kind of feels dull and just meaningless, really, and it kind of feels like there's not much point to certain things, and you're kind of just going through life with this kind of lack energy, this really dull energy. Whereas in contrast to that, when we're walking around feeling purposeful, meaningful, feeling fulfilled, it's like as if energetically we're filled up in our cup. Our cup is filled up and we're kind of walking around with a spring in our step. We're feeling excited. We're feeling, you know, driven by something. It's almost like we're having this, it's like a battery. I kind of want to describe it as like a battery. It's like when our battery is uncharged, we're feeling unfulfilled. So it's very like everything's a drag, everything feels dull, there's not much point to anything. Whereas when we're feeling purposeful and fulfilled, that's when we're kind of like, we've got a reason to get up in the morning. We're excited, we're thriving, we've got that energy, and you can probably almost tell just with how I'm talking now, I've got a purpose to make this video because I love talking to people, I love inspiring people. So that for me is part of my purpose, and that's why I get so excited when I'm talking about these kind of things. So feeling like you have a purpose in life, you have a direction, you have something that really excites you and makes you excited, thriving and feeling like, yes, I can do something about this, or that I can make a difference, for example. And purpose, I think, is completely individual. Everyone has a purpose. I truly believe everyone has a purpose in their life that lights them up, that makes them excited, and it can be so unique. But one of the things that I personally feel like, particularly in the self-development community and sometimes in the media, that it almost gets painted of this picture that purpose has got to look a certain way, and that it's got to be a career, it's got to be, you know, out there, it's got to be different from everybody else, and, you know, you've got to work really hard to get that purpose, which, yes, I do agree that, you know, sometimes purpose and excitement and building a life that you absolutely love and excited by, yes, that does require work, but I almost feel like it's been painted in this picture that you've got to sacrifice so much to figure out your purpose. You've got to travel to find your purpose and all of these kind of things, kind of like the Eat, Pray, Love vibe that, you know, you've literally got to go solo and, you know, your purpose is one set thing and it's that thing for the rest of your life. I want to chat about my personal opinion on this. Obviously this is completely just my opinion, and I'm talking about this to kind of maybe hopefully inspire you to open up your mind a little bit. Maybe you've been kind of sucked into this idea that purpose has got to look in a set way and it's a certain thing and it's got to fit in a box, to hopefully inspire you guys to figure out and start working on your purposes. So personally for me, when I was thinking that, you know, my purpose in life has got to be a certain thing, and I always thought that, you know, my purpose in life is going to be mindset coaching, and back in the day I thought it was to help people lose weight because that was such a big thing that I struggled with for so long, and then it sort of evolved into helping people with eating disorders because again that was kind of my story, and at that time that was such a drive for me because I'd kind of come out that myself, and that's definitely not to say that, you know, that I still wouldn't want to help people with that kind of thing and that doesn't excite me anymore, but you know, that's still part of my story and it's still part of something that I really love to do and to talk to people about. But my purpose has kind of evolved throughout life as I've evolved. And I really want to emphasize that your purpose will change as you change. So be open to it changing as you grow, as you get older, as your experiences kind of evolve as well, that it doesn't have to be just one set thing. For example, if you've always been, you know, an athlete and, you know, suddenly you get pregnant, for example, that doesn't mean that your athlete purpose, you know, whatever that was, you know, your drive to fulfill a certain sport in life, that's not to say that can't still be your purpose, but your purpose then might evolve into, you know, caring for your baby, your newborn baby. That might then be your new purpose in life, and setting up a family and stuff like that. That could be your purpose. And like I said, I personally don't believe that your purpose has to fit a certain career. I think sometimes we can the amount of passion that we have behind it, we can kind of build it to make something more of ourselves. For example, you know, if you are a mother and that has been your purpose for so long and you absolutely love being a mother and building a family, that could potentially build into a career. You know, it could be maybe you start vlogging and you start building up a YouTube channel and vlogging and documenting your family, or, you know, maybe opening up an online shop of baby clothes and stuff like that. You know, whatever it is, you know, that's not to say that your purpose can't be a career, but I think sometimes I got so attached to the idea that my purpose has to make me money. And I think when I had that thought, I was creating this sense of neediness around it, of like, oh my God, I need to make this work. I need it to be successful. And what success looked like for me in that purpose picture is that purpose is only going to be worth it if I make money on it, or if I can make a career out of it, for example. And I think that's where it can be quite damaging, because actually that still could make me fill myself up with so much joy, but just because it doesn't fit the narrative of it, you know, being a career, for example, I might then lose interest on it or think that, you know, it's a failure, so I'm not going to pursue that anymore because I need it to be a career. Just like YouTube for me, you know, I'm definitely not a big YouTuber by any means, but, you know, I've already, just with my small YouTube channel, you know, I've had so many comments and messages from amazing viewers that have watched my channel that have kind of reached out to me and said, you know, your videos helped me so much, or, you know, you have inspired me, and that literally makes me feel so joyful. That literally lights me up to feel like my experiences has helped inspire somebody else to change their life in some way. And that's, you know, I'm not earning money off that, but that generally lights me up and makes me feel more lit up in my life, if that makes sense. So I think that's the first thing to kind of take from this, that your purpose in life does not have to be a career. It doesn't have to absolutely hit it off and, you know, earn you millions of pounds, as much as and amazing as that could be, you know, for somebody. And who knows, if you keep pursuing it, maybe it would. But I think just going forward with the idea of purpose, that it lights you up and it makes you feel good, having that the reason why you pursue that particular hobby or purpose or whatever it is, because you enjoy it and because it lights you up and because it fills your cup up and excites your soul, rather than thinking I've got to make this work and I've got to make a career out of it. So I think number one is using that as energy and fuel behind why you do something and why you know, maybe take it to that next level. The second thing is, so how do we go about finding purpose in life? And I know personally for me, I'm very multi-passionate. So I was kind of, and me personally, I am an air sign. So energetically, I'm very sort of sporadic. I love different things. One day I can absolutely love one thing, and then the next week I can be onto something else and completely forget about that. Like, you know, those people that absolutely binge watch series. I can watch one episode or 2 episodes and then I'll be over it the week after. I won't bother like watching all of it. I'll be on to the next thing, and it's kind of like if you're like one of those people, you kind of have multiple things going off at the same time, and you kind of flip between one and the other, and that's not a bad thing. However, you know, I was always envious of those people that can literally just solely focus on one thing at a time, and they were so tunnel vision, and I was always kind of envious of those people that, you know, had their set purpose. Like, maybe they'd been a dancer from when they grew up and they've constantly been a dancer, and then they grow up and that's their thing. Like, I was always like, I've never really had that because I've been so sporadic all the time. I've always been dipping in and out of certain things. And I think if you are one of those people, embrace it. Embrace the fact that you are multi-passionate, that you can do different things at different times, and that you can, you know, flip between one or the other. And if you're not, if you're one of those people that are very focused on one thing at a set time, embrace that you can really rinse all of what it's worth out of that activity or thing. And what can you gain out of it? Can you learn something about yourself about it? You know, learn what skills you're good at by practicing and repeating that certain hobby. Going on to how to find your purpose, I would personally start with getting a notebook and writing down certain activities or things that interest you or have previously interested you. What was you interested in as a child, for example? What was you always liking to do? Was you always outdoors playing sports, or was you inside? Did you like writing down or journaling or drawing pictures or playing games or putting things together? Write down what your jam is, what kind of things interest you, what kind of things are you curious about. And I think that's a really big thing. So for me, for example, when I was growing up, I was always so interested about going to other countries, and I'd never been to another country up until the age of, I think it was 18 or 19. That was the first time I ever went abroad. And ever since then, I was absolutely like amazed when I got to another country. And that for me, I think, is one of my purpose in life, to travel as many different places and try different cultures and learn so much about different places and different countries, because that's just something that excites me. I love the thought of just going to somewhere different and going somewhere new, and trying a different country. So that for me was, I think, part of my purpose in life, because it excites me. Could that lead on to a career? Potentially, who knows? And the only way to kind of figure that out is continue to explore that, you know, explore potential jobs that allow you to travel. Does that excite you? If not, then, you know, continue to do it in a way that does excite you. For example, if you're not interested in being an air hostess or a pilot, you know, could you just continue booking your own holidays and, you know, maybe making a travel account or helping other people to fit activities and holiday packages together. You know, there's so many different ways to kind of go down a certain route, but I think looking at all the things that you're interested in, then I would next kind of write down some of your skills, some of the things that you personally feel that you're good at naturally, that doesn't really require much effort from your part. Then I would also ask your family members or friends, close friends and family, as to describe to you what they think you're really good at. You know, you might not notice certain things that you're good at effortlessly, and they might pick out a load of different things. For example, you could be really good at putting things together or working things out, problem solving. Perhaps you're very good at listening and being empathetic with people and communicating well and maybe negotiating. Maybe you're really good at media and creating things or drawing and those kind of things. So I would really get clear on the things that you feel are really natural to you, what you enjoy, and piece those together with your natural talents and skills. So from there, what can you create out of that? You know, could you start to explore art as a purpose? And I think being realistic in the thought that you're not going to find it straight away. If you're looking for your purpose or you're trying to find something, that you have really got to try a lot of different things until you kind of figure out what it is you like, what it is that you don't like, and all of those kind of things. So don't expect to kind of figure out your purpose straight away and then it's set. Like I said, it can change. It might only be your purpose for a little while, and then it can kind of navigate off into something different. But I really think that the main key here is to be open and to also explore different things and be open to different things, open to different ideas, and open to trying things and them not really inspiring you or them not really exciting you all that much. You might try something and really hate it, but you have really got to pursue and continue those things. So yeah, I just wanted to make a short little video on that, as it's obviously something that you guys wanted to hear. If this is something that you'd like me to talk more about, please let me know. Please let me know in the comments any of your experiences. Have you found your purpose in life? How has it made you feel? What do you feel your purpose is? What does it mean to you as well? If you want to see more of these kind of videos or have any suggestions on videos, future videos you'd like me to create, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Follow me on Instagram, and I will chat to you very, very soon.